Okay, so here we are in Hammer. The file, this is pointed to our add-ons folder. It's going to give you this warning when you open it. Just say yes. Loading all the tile sets. I don't know what adding nodes to document is, but it sounds very fancy. Oh god, look at all this fog. I can't even see the map. Oh my god. Let's turn that off. Okay. S goes backwards. Whatever direction you're facing, S is backwards. Guess what W is? It's forward. You might notice that the orange boxes aren't there. Right click pivots the camera. Shift O is show and hide editor only objects, which includes these disgusting orange boxes. Go away, boxes. What else have I got here? Cool stuff you can remember. I mean, obviously moving around the map with ease is great. I'm making you guys seasick, I know. These guys, I hate these guys. Let's see, I can't select them with the editor, the object editor. I have to select these guys with this object editor. Don't ask me why they're both called objects when they're two different layers, but look, here he is. He's just a guy. I move him around with left mouse. It's a path overlay is what he is. If you press F or V, you cycle through all the variations. I'm going to press Ctrl Z and undo all that. I do need to paint to correct this. A middle mouse button, left and right, changes the radius of all these brushes. And I do mean all. Every one of these brushes. No, that's not a brush, but any of these that are brushes. The terrain editor. All that shit. So I'm going to get my paintbrush here. Layer 3 is the green grass. Fix that up real nice. This one too. You can adjust the opacity and the radius and the hardness, but in fact, if you had a stylus, you could really fucking go on this shit, man. If you had your hotkeys all set up. Okay. So yeah, another really cool thing you could do, because these things are a right pain in the ass if you place them manually, because all it does, watch, if I place a path overlay, look, there it is. Oh wait, what about that one? Oh look, that doesn't look right. Oh, that doesn't look right either. All of these, there's so many different ones. What you want, usually, is just one very similar to the one you're already working on. How can I duplicate that? Hold Shift. That's another one of those really cool short keys that works for pretty much everything. Shift. Shift is for duplicate. You can duplicate a lot of stuff. I'm going to go back here to this arrow as soon as I delete that. This is our for selecting these type objects. The only difference is these are objects that are inside each of the different tile sets, whereas these objects are meshes that you can compile out of the asset manager. So anything really, like if I wanted to do Storm Spirit, you know, I could actually factually drag ourselves a Storm Spirit here. Excuse me, and there he goes. Now I wonder, I'm going to pick over here the scale tool, and I'm going to make him just super jolly. You know, he's ho-ho-hoing it up right here. But yeah, these right here are actually from the asset manager. They do not have any collision by default. There's ways of giving them collision. You have to be very, 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 very careful of what you give collision, because outside of the terrain editor, other types of collision make the map huge. So it's actually not that bad that they don't have collision, to be honest. This guy right here is by default this teal color, but I tinted him orange so he would look green. I kind of like it that color, to be honest. That's really neat. but it's green for now. Okay, so we can hide those horrible orange boxes with Shift O. We can also hide things like trees. I don't want to look at these trees. I want to look at just the terrain. So I want to hide these two. I'm going to hide these two. And now we've gotten rid of all this. It's still there. We haven't got rid of it. We've hidden all of that obnoxious bullshit. All we've got left are the tile sets and assets that we've placed into the map. Now, as soon as we go back to this type object editing, all that shit reappears because we've left the tile editor interface. But anyway, so like for today's project, I mean, this is kind of the rough outline of what the map looks like without trees, and that's nice. It's good to see that. So this guy here is an asset, and the same sort of tricks work with him as well. Shift can actually duplicate him. You need the translate tool. So you can duplicate him over and over. And why not? He doesn't have... I don't know if he has collision or not. He might. I think he might. So anyway. This rotatey guy here, he's a particle. And you can actually move him around. Lift him up off the ground by his handle in the middle. I'm just going to leave him alone. All you have to do is drag things from the particle editor into the map. Some work, some don't. It's a crapshoot. So yeah, placing these little path edges is really easy when you use Shift. I guess we could discuss some of the other type hotkeys. Shift is for duplicate. X is to rotate. This is in the tile editor again, the tile set editor. F and V scroll through the variations. I'm sure there's a couple others that I just don't ever use. Another thing you can do is click on this arrow here. This is a lot of fun. This guy selects tiles. So here's a tile, here's a tile, here's a tile. Some of the things on these tiles, some of these tile sets are made up of components that are random. This guy here, this blue, is the steps on this ramp. Well, let's just hit delete, and now there's no stairs. There's still a ramp. You can still walk up it, but there's no stairs. Let's get that back by hitting Control Z. You can actually hit variations of the stairs, and it just scrolls through the tile set and picks out all the stairs for this angle and this material. You can do a random variation of an entire tile if you're hovering over the tile, or of a single aspect of the tile. See, there are no random variations of the actual dirt. Let's see what we can do with this. So this guy over here, highlight just him, and we can scroll back and forth between the torch and the broken column. If we hover over the entire thing, we can scroll through not only this guy, but this guy too. And possibly even that guy. Okay, now it's just doing the two that exist already. So what if we did F on that, and then F on the whole thing? Yeah, it's got some odd behavior sometimes, but that's cool. I don't mind. I like odd behavior. But you just get the point, right? I mean, same with this guy. This guy is a tile set specific object. Boom. I'm leaving it that way. I like that better. Okay. Nobody ever noticed the eagle, but if he's facing you, maybe you will notice him. What do you think? Do you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he agrees. Okay. Well, what if we wanted to replace the stairs? Same thing. Get into our tile set editor. Select tool. There's the stairs. Boom. Now, I'll tab into your asset, and where's my asset? God dang it. Did I close it? Oh my god. Well, I don't know where the hell the asset manager is. It's one of these stupid buttons. Oh, son of a bitch. I don't know where my asset manager went or how to get to it. Well, this is awkward. What is the asset manager doing closed? Did I actually close it? Shouldn't have. Oh well. That's obnoxious. I'm gonna sit here and figure this out. It's good to go through these and just look at what's, you know, in these. All this stuff does something. I don't know what half of it does, but it's there in case you need it. Okay. But anyway, the steps... God, that's really fucking obnoxious. Hold on. I gotta fucking Google this shit. Open the asset browser. Is that what it's called? Asset browser? Yeah. It doesn't actually say on Valve's website how to actually open this fucking thing. You're just supposed to have it when you open the mod. So mine's gone forever, and y'all won't know how to put in stairs, and that's fine. I don't care if you know how to put in stairs. I'm sure you know how to put in stairs. Open up your asset manager, which you surely have, because you're not incompetent like me, and shove that shit in and position it. Let's see. God, that is so fucking obnoxious. Okay, I'll just take... Do I have any stairs anywhere? Yeah, I'll just take these and show you. So here's some fucking stairs. Whoop de fucking do. Let's get this shit over here. There. World's best stairs. All finished. There we go. That's how you do it. Shift W. I don't know if I mentioned this. It is your snap for rotating and translating. While Shift W is toggled, you either have a full degree of freedom or you have a 15 degree of freedom rotation, or whatever the snap is. I guess it's like 16 or 32 units snap. It's great to press Shift W when you're trying to get like a fine adjustment to a position or something. You don't have to like, you don't get this stupid clickies, you know, stuff. So there's that. That's all good. Oh man, my arm itches. No, the only reason I got so pissed off right there was because I've already tried to do this recording already, and something fucked up with the recording and I had to redo it. And now I'm like, oh great. After the whole thing was me showing you guys the asset editor, and I can't open it, so whatever. What else did I want to talk about? Trees, paths. I'm sure you guys understand how paths work, but if you don't, it's very simple. Another thing to notice here is when you've got the terrain tool selected, you see these dots. This is basically how you measure how wide your pathways are. So this pathway is a tile wide. This pathway is 2 tiles wide. And that's what I used to make sure that these paths and these paths were identical. Now this map is by no means symmetrical, and I'm not going to attempt to make it so. Let's see. Turn all this shit off. It looks symmetrical enough though, which is all you really care about. There we go. Beautiful. When it comes to editing terrain, get this guy out. Try and set him to about a tile. Anything bigger than that for large areas is fine. You've got your different current tile set here. Radiant. Okay. So now, how do we do this? I had an interesting idea for the path back here. And I think I'm going to do it. I think it'd be really cool if the path behind were actually high ground. Don't tell Bowmy. So, okay, let's talk about this. When you click, it raises it by default 1. Click again. 2. Once you get above 3, it starts generating more cliffs underneath. Now, I just hit Control Z to undo that, but what I could have done was hold Shift. Or no, Control. Control is sort of the default key for undo. These trees I could place with left click, but if I hold Control and left click, it undoes or removes the trees. Same thing goes with terrain. A lot of these hotkeys you'll find translate between the different tools, which is really nice. Whichever dots are green are the ones that are going to be affected by your terrain change. So I can hold Control and move those back down. Shift is the universal for same level. So if I hold Shift, click here, and drag, it makes everything that I go over the exact same level as this. So, here's the thing. We're going to start with path. And we're going to go ahead and do the project now. Okay, so what we've got here is a 2 tile wide diamond shape. So we're going to try and do that for all of these. See, let's do that right here. Okay, that works. Control to remove this point here. There we go. Got 1 for each of those. Let's go ahead and do 1 for this one. I'm going to make them all the same size. I'm not really sure what size they should be. To be honest, I don't really care. But what I do think is interesting is the idea of making, playing around with terrain height. So let's just work. There's that. Okay, cool. Now, raise all these walls by 1. So that they're above the thing that we're actually building the walls up toward. Okay, so that was pretty easy. Okay, cool. Now, the only reason to do it this way is, in my mind, just thinking about doing it this way, I kind of had this idea that, okay, who in the world, I mean, Bowmy makes all this noise about let's make everything closer to the middle, closer to the middle. And that's, you know, he's right to do so. I agree with that decision. But this path back here is sort of a shitty place to hang out because you're so far from farm. You're far from like everything, right? So yeah. Why would anyone come back here to this really far away area when they don't have to? Obviously there are reasons. I'm not going to deny that there are reasons. And that tile is really fucking with me. Let's do this. Select it. Apply current tile set. What the hell? Well, that is this tile set. Okay, fine, whatever. Now, let's select these and apply the Dire. Okay, great. I love that. That looks good. We're going to do some trees from Radiant Basic. Middle mouse adjusts the radius of most of the tools in the tile editor, if not all the tools in the tile editor. Alright, cool. So now, let's turn our trees back off. We don't really need to see the trees while we're just editing pathing. Well, see, now these guys here on this path, they have an advantage over the guys closer to the middle of the map. The closer to the middle of the map you are, the lower terrain you are. So this actually gives you high ground advantage. People who sneak around the boss pit will get high ground advantage. I'm not sure if that's good. In fact, I'm almost positive it's bad because now I'm thinking about it, people could actually cheese the boss from that cliff, which is the opposite of what we want. So I'm going to blow y'all's minds and just undo everything I just did. You can actually go in here to the history pane and just kind of jump way back here. Okay, cool. So I just decided that that was a bad idea for game balance reasons, and that's cool. There. Turn those steps into just a regular path. In fact, that being the case, we don't even need the stupid paths. Paths are really basically there only for stairs, so control. Let's just erase that shit. I don't want that. Paths are great for stairs, but not much else. Okay, so no high ground because, again, you don't want people standing on the high ground and just choosing your bosses. That's no fun. Now, here's the tricky part. Okay. We need this. There we go. So these are 2 tiles wide, these are 2 tiles wide, that's good. Inset. Whoa, that is hideous. That's because it is actually a 2 tile incline. Try this. Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah, why not? Now, same thing here. I'm actually going to give these the archway. Well, no, actually those don't get anything. because those are going to get the gates. We'll just put the gates there. That'll be enough decoration, won't it? Leave that one. Okay. So now we've got those fun, interesting... This is going to be a really interesting patch. Now, there's still trees everywhere. Boom, trees. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave the tree layer hidden. And at the same time, get this brush about 2 tiles wide. Hold control. And do this. There's a path here. A path here. Let's make this path a little windy. And then it just stops there. Path in here. Path in here. Path in here. Turn the trees back on. There we go. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? I might have made the path a little wider, so let's do this. Although I do like some of these choke points. They're really cool. But too much is too much, right? You can always add trees back. Bami is known for his famous tree updates. And I'm not joking, like, the dude loves his juke trees. I can respect the juke tree love. Okay, there we go. So that's simple enough. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. But there it goes. Let's add some trees back in. We don't want these ugly pine trees. We want deciduous summer. Oh wait, no, in the cave it's deciduous autumn. Well, that was a close one, boys. Almost put the wrong trees in. There we go. Make sure these paths are open, but not just too open. We want some trees to edge these. Okay, cool. I'll worry about the gates here in a minute. There's that. Let's see. Paint. Layer 3. Pretty big. There we go. I'm not going to spend too much time. Whenever I release a patch like this for the map, I don't spend a whole lot of time on decoration. We're changing the fundamental layout of things. And what that tends to do is it tends to spur conversation. And it tends to end up with people saying, well, let's change it again. And if you spent all this time doing these path edges and things and decorative bullshit, and then they're like, oh, change it again, and you're suddenly, you know, you've got to change everything you just did. Now I'm putting in some dirt around the back. Now another thing is we got to turn the boss casino and the final boss area into a blank sort of rectangle where we will eventually put a 2 additional arenas to fight in. Pretty cool stuff. I like this little, like, sort of medieval stonework that they've got. This is really fun to mix in with the dirt here and there. Again, I'm just giving it sort of a shitty first impression type, you know, nothing fancy, nothing. This is not a final draft. In other words, we're gonna make this, we're gonna test it, and we're probably gonna end up changing it. And once everything settles, once all the dust settles, I'll come in and do the fancy last, you know, finishing touch to the way it looks. But not yet. You don't want to jump the gun with that. Now let's compare the sides. One thing I immediately notice is that the boss pits are no longer sort of restricted to like a square. They're kind of just open. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it's fine. The area is sort of defined by this circle anyway. The boss rarely leaves that area for very long. It's like a creep camp. You don't need a room for a creep camp. But there they are. They're the quote-unquote rooms. It's fine. I like them. Again, this is one of those things that the map editor doesn't always have all the details, and he doesn't necessarily have a million years to wait for somebody to tell them what to do, so we just do whatever we want. And we do a really fucking good job of it, and people are happy. It's really cool, actually. That's why I like being on the art team. It's just super satisfying to be able to actually put your own mark. So now, hide the trees again. Fuck you, trees. Okay. Path here. Oh, we need to select Dire. It really sucks that I didn't get to show you guys sort of how to put assets from the asset manager in, but it's super fucking simple. Just keep in mind though, they do not have clipping by default. If you do add objects and you wish them to have clipping, you're going to have to experiment quite a bit with that. I do know for a fact that the blue boxes here have clipping because I've played with them. So if you ever did need clipping, you could take this block, copy it. Alt-E is properties, and you see it's called blink block. Just call it anything else, doesn't matter what else. But if it's called blink block, it actually triggers our blink blocker code. But if it's not, and it's just named anything else, and it's this thing right here, this will actually block player movement. I'm pretty sure no matter where you put it. So if you put it here, players would not be able to walk from here to here. So keep that in mind. It's a useful little trick. Hide the trees again. Okay. We don't need paths. We decided paths were stupid. We're going to make the little pathways here. Oh, you know what I was going to do before that was actually Shift O to hide the boxes. I did want to actually make these though. That one there. That one there. This side of the map is not nearly as pretty as the other side, but it works. Today I realized that tater tots are just vegetarian chicken nuggets. I accidentally clicked the button. I don't know if you guys knew that. You heard it here first. Okay. Again, I clicked the wrong button and enabled all the layers once again. Good job, Ryan. Let's get rid of these guys. Just hit delete. Hover over the little blue square and hit delete. I do like the torches on the bottom level, but not this guy. He's got to go. Again, these guys are fine because I think I'm going to put the gate up here instead. Alright, so that's all good. I reckon. Yeah, let's go with that. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it, right? I'm gonna make some paths in here. Again, I'm erasing invisible trees. Let's make this one just a little crooked, and it ends there. And it comes in here. Wait, I was holding shift, not control. Again. You can see now I give less of a shit. That's what happens, man. The more times you repeat yourself, the less of a shit you give each time. There we go. Awesome. I'm just gonna add some more trees in just for flavor. Get the perfect flavor. Okay. Paint. I think it's layer 2? Yep. 2 tends to be your path. 3, your just whatever else. You don't like straight lines, you want them to be kind of curvy, or else it feels like you're in a map editor if it's straight lines everywhere. You want some random little bits shooting off too. Straight lines are stupid, nobody cares about straight lines. There we go. Occasionally your shit will freeze because the map is being backed up periodically. Let's get rid of these trees here, they're in the way. Awesome. Are the two halves somewhat identical? Yeah, I'd say so. This one might have slightly more trees, or it just looks like it to me, I don't know. Let's clean these up a bit. There go those trees. There go those trees. Add some more in. The cave gets a lot of this autumn tree, this red one. Makes it feel different than the rest of the map. Okay, cool. Paint a little path in here. Okay, so we do have a blink blocker here somewhere. There it is. Now this is when it gets interesting because these gates are precisely located and all that jazz on the edges of these orange boxes. So we're just gonna fucking try our hardest to do something similar. Okay, this one. Awesome. Make sure we've got our clipping on. We do. So it clicks when you spin it. And press Shift O to see where the orange block is. Believe that'll work. Yeah. So that's where it needs to be, and it just might need to go up or down or left or right or something. Oh yeah, that's good. Clean up the tree a bit. We don't want those trees blocking it. This guy here needs to go. Stick him there. There. Now, did I do that right? When you kill this boss, that door opens? Yes, I did that right. Awesome. Now we just continue that pattern. And of course we'll have to test it. Go. one goes down. So it hits, there we go. Adjust the trees so they don't look stupid. Drag this one over there, I guess. Delete some of this junk. Okay. That's cool. Put that there. Alright. Well, those are the only two gates that actually need to move, aren't they? Except for this one. This one actually is supposed to... Tell you the truth, I'm not really sure what they wanted me to do here. But I do know one thing. I have to do something. I'm just gonna leave the roach pit open because I can, and what are they gonna do? I'm uncertain as to what I'm supposed to do here, but as we discussed earlier, you're in charge when you're in this editor. Got creative control, so how did that thing get crooked? That's what I want to know. Alright, I'm going to try this again, make sure it's not crooked this time. I have that one on the edge, not quite. What's going to happen probably is Chrono's going to take it after I'm done with it and add that other gate there. Because I read in the chat, he doesn't even have the code in the position for it to actually operate an additional gate yet. Or maybe he does, but he needs to do something else to actually finish it or get it to work right. Cool. I'm not sure about the position of this gate. I'm not sure whether it should be further down and we just stretch the orange box. Because it does seem like this little area is really long. And the enemy team could potentially just chill here, and as you're walking, they could jump on you. But hey, I like that idea though. If an enemy team is that clever, you deserve to get jumped on. Arguably. One other thing we could do is just move this path back one. Like that. What makes it it makes it less of a threat for that kind of situation to occur. I kind of like that. Let's do that over here too. But make sure that these stairways are as close to the gates as possible. That, and that. Okay, so that's one. I think... Yeah. Make sure you've got Radiant Basin selected. Hold shift and just move this shit back. Fix your missing path node there. Beautiful. I don't like this sitting here. Okay, so there's that. Also, this guy moves back. Yeah, nice and secluded. This is going to probably require some testing. Don't worry about people getting mad at you about putting a tree in the wrong spot or, you know, any kind of dumb shit like that. If they get mad at you because of that stuff, send them to me and I'll take the blame. I told him to do it. I said it was okay. If I'm the one that's getting mad at you, though, you better fucking, you know, bow down to it. I'm asked. Just kidding. I have no idea what I'm doing. In all actuality, not a clue. But I get by. All you can really ask. Let's delete all this garbage here. Not that one. I like that one. Okay. That's cool. Oh, there's so much garbage. Garbage is useful for making it look pretty, but it gets in the way when you want to make changes. Again, making cosmetic changes early in development is fine, but you're going to end up deleting 90% of it. So experimentation is the name of the game. At this stage, you just want to try stuff. Don't get too attached to any one thing. Be prepared to do everything you do 5 times. Okay. Now I just move the gates and we are ready to test, I think. Unless I missed something. I hope you guys are getting some good Shift W to make sure it doesn't. To make sure it does snap at 15 degrees. We're gonna get it just on the right side of the wall. I'm going to snap off for this part. Oh wow, the wall is all the way over here. I guess it is. It's hard to tell. There's like 2. Which one am I looking at? God damn it. Who does that? Well, fuck it. I'll put it whatever one. Why are there 2? Oh, because there's one that includes all of them. Gotcha. I'm an idiot. I'm going to put it on the inner one then. I don't really know what the difference is. But yeah. I assume those 2 walls could be at the exact same spot. I don't know. That's a Chris question. Okay, get rid of that shit. Get rid of the garbage. So yeah, the roach pit's going to be open. There's not much I can do about that. I have 2 options at this point. You know, not having complete... You know, we don't have the code to do what we need to do at this point. So the way I see it in my head is, I could either leave the farming cave open to the whole map, or I could leave the farming cave open to an unfortunate but necessary area that maybe shouldn't be left open, but hey. It's not gonna be as problematic as leaving this area open to just walking in. I don't think. Might be. Maybe they're both just as equally bad. Okay. That looks about right. And I'm starting to yawn. This guy's definitely not in the right spot. Sweet. That is pretty cool. My one complaint is that it's not going to look nearly as pretty this way. I guess I could have done this. I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway, because I do like the look of these pillars. They're really nice. thing. Another thing you can remember is that things are typically viewed from, I guess you could call it the south end of things. Now the position of these doesn't really matter now, but I'm checking them anyway. And it just kind of makes the things look really pretty and cool. We got our pathway behind the boss pits. Great. A few more things to do after this is done, and then I'll call it a night. Yeah, I actually like these. I don't think these have any sort of functional purpose, they're just fillers. Now, I could have saved myself a lot of time by just copying these instead of moving them in the first place. Oh well. Okay, cool. So there's that. Okay. Our paths are there, our gates are there. What else? Oh yes, these areas over here. What we're gonna do is turn off the trees, turn off the plants, turn off the props. Grab ourselves some of these tile editing tools here. There's that. Easy peasy. Oh, I see what's happened here. There's a weird material being applied here. There we go. I just copy pasted. Why the hell not? It's fine. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Turn the trees back on for a second. Okay. Think we get away with this. Yeah, that works. I'm just going to erase these trees. We're not actually designing this area yet, so they don't need to be here. I'm just going to empty it. I don't know what all this yellow shit is. It's some kind of weird thing I can't really tell. Oh. Just random shit. Kind of neat though. I like it. I like the random shit sometimes. But I don't want it. Because we're emptying. Alright, I missed one or two, but fuck it. There we go. It's funny how this duel arena is actually right near the fountain. I need to put it far enough away from the fountain that it doesn't cause an issue for whatever exploit might present itself. You don't want people in the duel arena to be able to like attack people in the fountain, do you? Okay, that cliff is actually too high to exist without another cliff next to it, so let's do this. That's good enough. It doesn't matter. There we go. There. Now that's a smaller, I would say, duel arena than the ones we've already got.
Got me in the mission, we see eye to eye, but you ain't in my vision, oh no. I said, oh no, back in the day, I used to say, a girl like you, I used to pray for days.
Plant selection tool, big radius, and just hit Control, click to delete all these plants. Same thing with props. With props. Maybe that'll work, I don't know. No, it doesn't work with props. It works with trees and plants. Wasn't that some dumb shit, okay? I can just hover over it with this and do it. Okay. Perfect. And now, there's a couple ways to deal with this. One, blink blocker. Do we have one? Okay, so there is a blink blocker here. It did exist because of the staircase before in a certain... Alright, what we're going to do is delete this and this. Take this one. Stretch it. There we go. Technically, we could use this one over here, but nah, we'll use this one. Now you want to kind of make sure that when these blink blockers trigger, they don't accidentally dump the hero onto the high ground, resulting in pissed off players. So I'm going to do that. That seems to be pretty darn good. You could even increase it a bit. It's also a clipping area, so people can't blink to it, I think, which is awesome. I love that feature. Blink blockers block, you know, that's what they're supposed to do. Okay, cool, so there's that. That's our empty, slightly smaller duel arena. Same thing with this guy over here. We're gonna give him the exact same treatment as we gave that other one. I guess we should start by hiding the trees, plants, and props. Now this guy painted. Paint's cool. Not gonna lie, I like the paint. But we can always bring it back. I like the paint, I gotta say, but it's gonna mess with me if I don't erase it. Yeah, trees. Leave something to be desired. Hold shift, copy this. Can I please have a... I hid the plants. There we go. Yeah, okay, the plants are hiding it. Good, good, good. Now. Yeah, hiding the stuff can kind of fuck you up when you don't realize what's going on. Alright. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is also a smaller one. But there are ways of making it any size you want. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this fountain doesn't have to go where it is. It can move 3 inches this way, or 3 tiles this way, right? You move the fountain 3 tiles this way, suddenly you've got a longer arena. You could actually make an arena bigger than this. All these things can change easily. We could make the walls of the arena narrower. The risky run is people in the arena being able to auto attack outside or cast spells outside. In fact, right here is a little too close for me. People will be able to auto attack across this. Obviously they need line of sight, but there are ways of abusing all kinds of shit. Okay, well, that's good enough for now. We might use it as an arena for like a 1v1. That'd be really cool. I could see maybe having like a... playing with some terrain. Like that. Little high grounds that you can kind of hop up on. Maybe just like on one side. You know, weird stuff. Little map where a guy can kind of run around and they can have a little fight. I'm interested in seeing some of the smaller duel arenas. It'd be nice if we had a larger one just for 5v5. We might be able to actually turn one of these into a big one. That would be insane. If there was just, this one was just big one. And I can identify several things to get more space out of this map to create more dual arenas. The farming cave rooms are much bigger than they need to be. This hallway back here is actually much bigger than it needs to be. So, but just by shifting things, maybe a few units left, right, up, and down, you can make areas for more dual arenas. Which, yeah, that's going to be really cool to do. Obviously, this doesn't need to be here. What in the fuck is this? Why is there even an empty room? You could just move the fountain here and have it immediately curve that way and use this whole space for arena. Look at all this wasted space over here. I mean, it's not necessarily wasted. It has a purpose, but you get the idea. You get a tile here, a tile there. We don't want people to auto attack across this wall. That is going to be a really big problem with that idea, unfortunately. I really love the idea. Oh, that's hideous. There we go. It's there. We can look at it and decide what we want to do with it. You cannot auto-attack across 3 tiles, I'm almost positive. There are very few heroes that would be capable of something so crazy. But 3 tiles is it. Anything less than that and you're in trouble. Okay, delete these guys. Delete the plants. Just so people who look at it will have a better idea of exactly how big it is. It's pretty big. Get rid of these candles. I really wish there was like an area tool for deleting these props, but there isn't, as far as I know. Just gotta randomly click. I'm sure that's a satisfying or a wonderful sound for everyone listening. You hear me just rapidly click delete on all these little bitches. Okay. Cool stuff. Blink blocker is the last step. Shift O to show the blink blockers. Okay. I like this blink blocker here. It's gonna have to get a little bigger. I keep thinking she's saying memories. It's really upsetting me. Okay, that's good there. But one for the memories. You got my vote, lady. She really is a broken record. That's like the only line to this song. Do you guys hear the music? I don't know. Okay. Dinner time. Might as well adjust this one while we're here. There's that. There's that. Okay, cool. I think we're done. I know I'm done. I'm sick of looking at it. But we can't just quit. First we have to save. And remember the message we got before. See where I put it? Add-ons, AAA, content, maps. Now, watch. When I go to build, I don't need to make a mini map. I can just hit build. There we go. The map file is outside of the directory for game content. It wants it in this one. So I hit OK. So we have to save it twice for some reason. I don't know if this is just a quirk of my computer, but instead of going to add-ons, we're going to go to content. Go to beta, content. There we go. Now while it's building, I'm going to go get something to eat and drink.
I don't know if you see me the way I see you, but you held my neck and you said some shit, so I've been hoping you do. Spill all your secrets and confidence, well I'm filing that as evidence to stall the burn and calm my nerves. Oh, after I've had a few, you're turning my insides, you're making me sick. But you're such a goddamn pro, never really know if you're faking it. You're turning my insides, you're making me wish that I was a better girl with a steady hand that you wanted to be with.
All right. So we're building the world. Well, I guess the world would just be the geometry. The entities would be things like, well, you can see over here. Blink blockers. We're building the physics. Now you've got physics and you've got grid nav. Don't ask me what the difference is. And then visibility. So if there's a tree and you're on the left of it, you can't see to the right. If you're above it, you can't see below it. And there's actually a command line here, which was pointed out to us the other day. If you actually run this command line, resource compiler.exe -f shallow, max textures, dx level, blah blah blah, all that shit, it just compiles the game. You don't have to do it in OAA, in Hammer. you can do it in just a command line by running this resource compile.exe. That's the whole thing. You can actually turn off load in engine after building, and that doesn't play the game, it just builds without playing the game. I wouldn't do minimap. You don't have to do it. I don't think it matters because it doesn't get uploaded anyway, as far as I know. God, this is taking forever. What happened? Is it not going to load? I assume it's still doing stuff. Fell out of small block heap. It's always a good sign. It says building, so we'll just assume it's building. In case you can't see, that actually says building. Let's see. There we go. I don't remember it ever taking this long, but oh well. What do you reckon world physics is? I mean, the grid nav tells you where you can walk. Oh well. And all it says is worldphysics.vphys removing 64 degenerate triangles. Jeez. That's rude. It loads the engine. It hangs. Doesn't always hang. Sometimes it hangs. You just have to wait. My favorite hero for testing the map is Storm. What was it, Blink? Oh well. I don't remember all the dev stuff because I don't care. You guys are probably much better at that than I am. Okay. We cannot go up here because of the blink blocker. Interesting. The blink blocker actually prevents you from walking up that. So that's a good thing we tested it. Because we're going to have to move that. Where did that take me? Okay. I'll take it. Alright, so there's a blink blocker issue with that. Other than that, it looks okay. Well, this is a plenty big arena, isn't it? Okay, the blink blocker will not... Oh, I forgot about that. Whoop. Well, I'm just going to assume that the same problem exists over here. It looks like our gates are working properly. They look good. That's great. That's all I care about. Okay, this area works. Need to get rid of that. Alright, so there's some stray little path edges and some blink blocker issues. Yeah, that's really it. Let's go fix those. Real quick. Doesn't take long. Okay. Easiest ones first. These don't belong here. They just make the place look unkempt. Perfect. Now the other thing was the daggone blink blockers. Yes, I said daggone blink blockers. Okay, yeah, that's a big problem. Honestly, do we need these? They already can't come in the orange area. Let's fucking delete them. I don't care.
Okay, let's speed things up a bit.
Perfect. Actually, no. I like one of those being there. What do I do? Okay. Scale. And this is because we need this. At least as of right now, we need this blink blocker because it prevents people from camping the fountain by like blinking behind it and doing all that cheesy shit that people like to do. Just tell them no. Just deny them completely. No, you can't do that. Fuck you. Go away. There we go. Let's have it extend a little further. Doesn't need to be that wide, and it can be a little bit longer. That's good enough, I guess. We'll let people figure out how they want to deal with that later. I don't really care. I'm just deleting them. We don't need blink blockers there. Because there are doors. Or do we? Well, if the doors are shut, you shouldn't be able to blink in, right? That makes sense? But the orange thing already does that. So I guess we need to test it, don't we? Okay. Good enough for me. And now we could probably uncheck some of these. I don't know why we need to build physics, but honestly, I think we need them all. Because not only... No, we didn't change the actual world. We just moved blink blockers. So we could have unchecked everything except build entities. And it would be much faster. I'll have to do that next time. I just didn't realize I hadn't changed the terrain at all. Just the blink blockers. Tempted to hit abort. Yeah. We don't need any of these. All that's the same, isn't it? Grid nav maybe. Because grid nav might have something to do with the cliff or the skip material. I'm not sure. Better safe than sorry, right? And this video is getting really long. You're probably bored. This first step sure does take a while. I wonder why. What am I running in the background? Not much. God, this takes fucking forever. This is why you always shut down your computer properly, kids. My computer's pretty fragged up. Come on.
She's the girl of my dreams.
Okay, we can walk up. We can walk through. Why? Oh, because it's the first one. Ah, gotcha. Okay. I know it's working as intended. I'm just a little confused as to what I'm supposed to do. No, that one does that again. Why does it do that? Are you serious? Oh my. Okay. I'm just gonna assume that the same is the case on the other end. Whee! Well, I suppose. Oh, I see. Hmm. The door opens properly. The room's locked properly. But the doors don't function properly. Okay. I suppose what I'm gonna have to do then... How come this doesn't do what it did before? Where it teleports you to like the opposite side of the universe. Haha, I broke it. Not easy. There we go. I had to try that in an actual game one time. Just break it. Just do random shit. I miss playing with Karmatic and breaking the game. Come on, man. Come back. The name of the gates defines which room it's linked to. Though, to make more than one gate possible per room, the code needs some minor changes. Yeah, I'm not sure the gates are doing what we want them to do. What I'm gonna have to do... God damn, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. First thing I gotta do is figure out why this teleports people to the wrong side of the universe. People actually get teleported to, like, hell when they go through this thing. And that's not good. I guess to prevent people from getting teleported to, like, hell. Like, I don't know how to fix the blink blockers. I really don't. I'm just going to save it. and I'm going to push it, and I'm going to put work in progress, and I'm going to say, hey, Chrono needs to fix it. Fair enough, right? Okay, so now we save it there. And then then I'm just going to go into GitHub and create a pull request. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.